Ali Abdall is one of the biggest people in online business and productivity and such. And in that space, one thing that can't be missing at all nowadays is AI. So he has a few videos and posts and resources on AI that I went through in the past few days. A lot of hours went into this to collect all of this information to give it to you so that you can just copy Ali Abdall through me and enhance your own business and productivity. I'm a fan of AI myself, so this was a pretty cool thing to see that he has resources and a lot of resources on AI as well. I'm such a fan that I even now am a certified expert. Who would have thought? I'm a certified expert now, and so I can brag about that some more, which I won't do right now. Okay, the first tool he uses is ChatGPT, obviously, but I found particularly interesting how he uses ChatGPT here. He uses this for idea generation, which is for him for videos and his work and his social media posts. So based on the chats he has already with ChatGPT, he's asking things like, give me 10 ideas for a video idea, and then to counter them. I think this is not good. Why do you think that this video would do particularly well? Or I need some ideas for some social media posts on LinkedIn. What could those be? And then going directly into conversation and confrontation with ChatGPT's ideas. Another thing which I found really interesting on ChatGPT is that he uses it for research, and not only that, but how he uses it for research. What he's doing is asking, obviously, give me some information around XYZ topic, but give me URLs so that he can check the URLs for if whether ChatGPT is saying is actually relevant, so that to make sure that ChatGPT is not hallucinating, which can be a big thing. I adopted this as well when I do research for my newsletter or these YouTube videos. I always ask ChatGPT to put in the relevant URLs where he found this information, so that I can look for myself and see, okay, this is actually valid. This is actually a valid resource, and you would be amazed on how often he comes up with things that aren't actually in the URLs he gives and that I can't find anywhere else as well. So if you've ever used ChatGPT for research or any AI basically, I recommend using this way, giving the URLs and then checking the URLs to make sure it's accurate. The next tool he uses is Notion AI. If you know a bit about Ali Abdall, he's a big fan of Notion. He uses a lot of it, and Notion has their own AI. And what Ali Abdall does is he uses it to structure his YouTube videos and his YouTube ideas and his content. He's asking here again for the specific URLs on information if he wants to use any. As well, he summarizes his notes on Kindles to then turn his Kindles into outlined videos. And he makes drafts and longer texts from his own notes to then edit to make sure it's actually him and it's actually legit for his websites or his social media posts or anything that has to do with writing his newsletter even. As well, he uses Speechify. Speechify is an AI to read out text. Originally, it was to help people who have trouble reading to read faster and better and understand better what they're reading. He uses it specifically to read faster through text. So if he has really long documents to read through, he just chooses a voice, he puts it into Speechify, he puts the listening speed on 10x or anything to go through it really fast to pick out these certain diamonds he's looking for, which he then can go deeper into, but he doesn't have to read the whole document in his own pace. As well, if he wants to read something that he wants to remember better, and this is something that Alex Hormozi in his books recommends as well, to read and listen at the same time, because the more senses we trigger at the same time and focus on one specific thing, the more likely we are to remember that thing. And so whenever he wants to remember what he reads, he puts it into Speechify and then reads along as he listens to the words as they're being said as well. The fourth tool he uses is Lex. Lex is a tool to help with writing. He's a big writer, and Lex, the cool thing about it is that it adopts writing style. So if you write in Lex and it has a bit of data on you, obviously, then at a certain point you can start asking it to write text or to fill out your remaining text and to help you writing in your own writing style. He still says that he still tweaks on the text that is written, and he uses it more for idea generation to see what the AI suggests he writes next, and then oftentimes he just deletes it and writes it in his own words. But as well, for a bit idea generation, creativity, this can hurt. The fifth and sixth tool I have from him are Grain and Otter AI. Both of those, and this is why I named them in the same one, are really similar because they transcript and take notes on Zoom meetings. Grain can make single clips and highlights from Zoom calls. So if you and I were on a call and we were talking about something, and I would mention something to you that you think, oh man, this is really cool, this would really help me out, you can just ask Grain to save this snippet and you can rewatch it later. And the advantage of Otter is that he can upload MP3, which then gets put into transcripts, which he uses to make social media posts or to make clips for TikTok and all the stuff where you can watch short videos. In lack of a better transition, Hard Cut, he uses this as a life coach as well. So he has, his favorite AI is Claude, at least that's my last update. Claude is really conversational. He feeds it with a lot of information about himself, so that it knows a lot. His bookmarks, his Zoom calls, etc. And then he asks the AI to give him tips on his life, what to do or what he thinks. It's not like it's actually a coach. He more sees it as a rebound partner to bounce ideas off of and to get ideas, to ask AI to ask him questions that he could ask himself. A lot of asking here, but to get questions that he can ask himself about his life or about a certain area in his life to make better decisions and to see what he actually wants and what outcome he's actually going for. And this is something that he highlights through and through again through his videos and whenever he talks about AI, that he's not using AI as a life coach and to take what AI says as granted, but more as an advisor, which still has the focus that he comes to his own conclusions. Another thing that he does is, I mentioned before, he bounces idea off of AI. So specifically, he asks AI to challenge his own ideas on certain topics, to criticize his own ideas and to criticize his own thought pattern, just to get a little bit of rebound and to reflect on memories, aspects of his life, his day. I've done this, this happened. How should I go about this? How should I think about this? What would be cool the next time to do? What can we learn from this? Such reflections. So for him, AI is not something who's an advisor, no expert. It is just a mirror. Basically, another way to look at himself from another angle to make better decisions. The brainstorming part. Use this for brainstorming as well. This is a bit more advanced because it requires the AI, whichever you use, to have a lot of information on you and about you. So ideally, you have written with your AI, whichever you use, at this point for quite a while, and it knows a few things about you. And this is something that he has from Alex Hormozy as well, which is the Solomon method. I think Solomon was either a real king or someone from mythology, you never know really, who was really good at giving advice, but not at receiving advice or at advising and navigating through his own life. And so the tactic is, if AI is trained on you, to ask it to act as your 19-year-old self, 90-year-old self, there we go, to give you advice on your own life. Because most times, the person who's best qualified to give you advice based on your goals, your struggles, your problems, your preparations is yourself. So asking AI, if it has a lot of data on you, to act as you in 90 years, to reflect back on you. I don't know how to end that sentence, really got myself into a bit of struggle here. But cool idea. Yeah, nice, I like it. Oh, speaking of which, by the way, so using yourself as a 90-year-old persona, you can use other personas as well. I do this. I have trained ChatGPT to, I like to talk a lot about business and health and longevity. That's the two things I'm interested in and I'm into. So I told him to act as Alex Hormozy, there we go again. It's Andrew Huberman for the health part. So whenever I ask about business, he answers as Alex Hormozy, or Charlie Munger if I ask about investment, and he acts as Andrew Huberman and answers from his perspective if I ask anything about longevity or health. And as well, this is a cool trick. If you've written with AI for some time now, ask it to uncover obstacles or problems that you have in your life that hold you back from your goals, based on recent chats. So based on all our past chats, looking at the goals I have, what are things that are holding me back that I can't see? And you might be surprised by the answers. At least I was when I tried this. Don't take this for granted necessarily. Still, this is AI, and AI still can talk a lot of shit. So anything about life coach and stuff, always better to, like he says as well, use it as a mirror, not as an advisor, and clearly think through it yourself. His best tip on learning AI is to watch someone else in your industry or in another industry work with AI. This means if you're really invested into this stuff and you got the guts and the time to do this, that you can take internships in other countries, in other companies, I wanted to say in other countries you could do as well, to watch someone who knows how to use AI in your industry or in another, to how he does it, and then just copy it yourself. This is if you're really invested into this. If not, I have a video as well on how to learn AI that you can do at home. It should be anywhere around the screen here. Then his practice on using it for data analysis. Ali Abdall has a big YouTube channel, a lot of courses, a lot of projects he has, and so keeping track of all the data is very important for Ali. And he does that by just downloading the CSV file of wherever he has the data, in YouTube for example, uploading it into an AI, for him that's Claude, and then asking Claude to analyze this data for a specific reason. So to give him title suggestions, for example. And then he reprompts, so what you've just given me is a level 1 response. I want a level 2 or a level 5 response. Meaning, and this is a prompt that you can use in pretty much any area, that it digs deeper just to see the new outcome. What he identifies as okay, this is a higher level outcome. This is a better outcome. This was everything that I could find on Ali Abdall. My key takeaways are AI is more an add-on to the brain than a replacement itself, asking for URLs to prevent hallucination, or at least see if the information it gives you are legit, and don't see it as the god that is now here to change the world. It may be that this is the case, but you will do better not telling AI everything about yourself, and not doing everything with AI as well, because that makes you just lazy, and you still want to work in your business, and you still want to write your own code and do the things that you have fun at, and just use AI as an add-on to take away the things that you might not have so much fun at. This is all I have for today on Ali Abdall. You can go ahead and watch this video, and please tell me anything that I can do better, because I know that there's a lot that I can do better in these videos, in the comments below. Goodbye.